This is high-speed chess. That's what you're watching.
So Roy Jones has been stirring up a lot of controversy. He's had some very strong takes and feelings on Floyd Mayweather's and some other fighters. I want to sit here, listen to Roy spew his BS and maybe debunk Roy Jones a bit.
Lastly, I do have to ask you before I let you go. What is going on with Floyd Mayweather, Roy?
I don't know what's going on with him. Sugar Ray Leonard said himself he thought he would beat him. The reason I tell people I thought Sugar would beat him is because when you mention great fighters, right, 90% of your great fighters are black.
I'll stop you right there. I see where Roy's going. I can see where he's going. And I like race and I like culture and boxing when it's significant to the subject matter. Being a great fighter has nothing to do with race. Nothing. When we go back and look at Usyk and Canelo, in a way, Bud, we're not going to say, the first thing we're going to ask is, how many black fighters did they beat? No, we're not doing that. I will admit this. Most great fighters historically are African American. That is a fact. You cannot deny that one. If you go down your top 30, at least 20 to 25 of them will be black. But in the same breath, boxing wasn't as global back in the 60s through 80s. It was a lot of focus on North America. There wasn't this big surge of Eastern European post-Soviet boxers until mid-2000s. And even now it's bigger than ever. Look at it. We have Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Ukraine, Russia. Everybody is participating now. So boxing's more global. It's a lot more competitive. Back then when Sugar Ray was fighting, really just focused in North America. Not a lot of Kazakhstan, Russian, all those type of boxers back then. And it has nothing to do with being a great boxer.
Ones from the past. Now, with the Eastern Bloc coming on like they are, there's going to be some great ones coming on now. Even with Lil Tony, as you see it, these guys are going to be great. They're going to start eclipsing and coming up there too. But right now, if you had to name 5 of the best fighters of all time, 4 of them are going to be black. You understand me? Who did he beat that was black in his prime, that was in their prime, that was on his level? Nobody.
Nobody was on Floyd's level, first of all. But still, you're trying to use race as some measuring stick or metric of a great fighter, and that's just wrong. So you're saying Floyd, well, he beat Chico. Chico wasn't on his level, but Chico was a really great fighter at that time. And but you're saying beating an undefeated Ricky Hatton isn't impressive for the simple fact that Ricky Hatton isn't black, although he's one of the greatest junior welterweights, one of the greatest English fighters, one of the greatest fighters Floyd has ever faced. But since he's not black, we don't count him. Undefeated. Like, what, 40-0, 39-0 at the time, but okay.
Sugar Ray Leonard beat Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns twice, Roberto Duran, who would be one of the other people on that pound list. He beat guys that were...
Duran beat nobody that he's referring to, unless he's saying Duran beat Leonard. Duran's not black, so why are we counting Duran? Pacquiao is greater than Duran. Pacquiao at 147 did way more than Duran at 147. Duran beat Leonard, okay. Outside of that, he didn't do much at 47. He didn't do much at 54. Even at 60, he never defended a title. So why are we only focusing on the black fighters with Floyd, but with Leonard, we get to choose Duran, who he lost to? Jumping 2 weight classes, Leonard lost to. And like I said, Pacquiao's a lot greater than Duran, and he's been a lot better at the 147 division. But we'll keep going.
What? Floyd Mayweather Sr., he beat guys that were at their prime, no matter what color they were. He beat all of them at their prime. Him and Tommy fought when they both had O's. Not when Tommy got beat by Iran Barkley. That's too late to beat Tommy. If you beat him after that, it don't count. You understand me? So it's not that. I'm not saying Floyd's not a great fighter, but I can't put him ahead of guys who have crossed that line like that. When I put you in with an equal opposition, Floyd
had no equal, Roy. I'm not the biggest Floyd fan. There's fighters I do enjoy a bit more than Floyd Mayweather, but he had no true equal. Floyd Mayweather, and I understand what we're saying. Hearns and Leonard, what they did that was special at the time. Two of the best. They went on to both become 5 division top 20 fighters ever. They both met undefeated, and they got it on at their peak. That's special. That is really special. That is a generational bout. It's going to be a very long time before we have another bout like that. But even when we do, you guys neglect it. You guys are never going to give these guys the proper credit. But in Floyd's own right, has he not been absolutely magnificent? Has he not displayed the utmost of excellence? Floyd Mayweather, he went pro in 90. When did he go to the Olympics? He went to the Olympics 96. I want to say Floyd went pro in 96 then. Okay. So let's say 96. You guys help me out there. Floyd goes pro. I think a year after Pacquiao. He retires in 17. So Floyd had a 21-year career, losing 0 bouts. That's impressive, right? And it's not the 50-0 I want to focus on. It's the manner in which he did it and who he did it against. He faced the most Pacquiao faced the most. He and Pacquiao are tied for the most world champions beaten. Pacquiao, he got knocked out a couple times. Pacquiao, he didn't win every time. Floyd Mayweather was flawless through it all. On his road to becoming 5 division, a unified welterweight champion. I can't remember how many lineal titles he held. But on the road to becoming 5 division, beating 24 Hall of Famers, he lost 0 fights over the course of 21 years. That is excellence in its own right. We can't skim over that. I can admit, Hearns, Leonard, exceptional bout. Outstanding. Like I said, that is generational. That's something that's not going to happen for a very long time because everything is going to have to align. But we can't neglect Floyd's longevity in the perfectionist that Floyd Mayweather Jr. was. We can't. But I'll let Roy keep going.
And judge say, hey, you did that. You go on that line. But Terrence Crawford was there all these years. He never fought him.
Roy, let me go back. Let me make sure I'm getting the entire context of this.
Well, I put you in with an equal opposition. Now I can judge say, hey, you did that. You go on that line. But Terrence Crawford was there all these years.
Okay, but Floyd, let's talk about the timeline. Why it didn't happen. Bud moves to 147 in 2017. 2017, he fights Jeff Horn. Floyd really tapped out of the game in 2015. They were never in the same division together. Right? Even at 140, Floyd moved on from 140 in 09, maybe? No, maybe even before that, because he fought De La Hoya in like 09, right? 08, 09, 08, 09. That was at junior middleweight. So the timelines don't line up with Floyd and Bud. This is why I get frustrated, and this is why I'm saying a lot of guys get on me and say, well, Jerry, you don't box. You don't know anything about boxing. And I'm looking at Roy Jones, and this guy is a Hall of Famer. He has more experience than any of us could ever acquire. There should be nobody more equipped to speak on these topics than Roy Jones. But it sounds like he's just pulling names out of his, you know what, to just try to make his point. You're naming 2 guys who have never been on the same timeline. That's like asking, why didn't Calzaghe fight Andre Ward? Calzaghe retired 08. Ward won the gold in what, 12? No, Ward won it maybe in 08 as well. Not on the same timeline there. Doesn't make sense.
Never fought him. Fought Canelo, who was way younger than Crawford. Well, 3 years younger than Crawford. But Crawford was there too, but you never called Crawford's name.
Is there
2 different timelines? Floyd and Canelo fought in 2013. Canelo was 23, so Bud would have been 26 at the time. Look at where Canelo was at in his career. Canelo was a way bigger star, being backed by Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy. Canelo had 44 fights. Canelo was pound for pound. He was pound for pound. Bud wasn't pound for pound. Bud was still at lightweight. I want to say Bud was a world champion in 2013, but Canelo was a unified lineal junior middleweight champion. So there was more incentive for Floyd to go up and fight Canelo. I don't understand what he's implying here. Bud was at 135, maybe with no world title. I think he was a world champion. Let's say he was for the sake of Roy Jones' argument. So Bud was a 35 champion. Canelo was a 54 champion. Unified lineal, pound for pound, 44 fights. Golden Boy, the next Mexican Golden Boy. Why would he fight Crawford? Makes no sense. Timeline is not making sense here.
Like some sort of tensions and beef between you? Or?
He got mad because I said that on All the Smoke, and then he started put up some video of him watching some of the fights I had in my later career where I got knocked out. He said, look at the highlights. Yeah, they make the highlights sometimes, but those highlights are probably more exciting than your highlights. Still, you feel me? But when you play with me, I'm not ducking or dodging nothing. Still, my name's still Roy Jones Jr. I don't care. I get in shape right now for anybody. Running ain't my game. I never duck and dodge. I'm not that guy.
Do you think he'll fight you?
I don't know if he will. I'm welcome. I'm wide open for it. So let's go.
And on that note, always a pleasure, my man.
Roy, stop it. You came for Floyd, and you're gonna make me sound like the biggest Floyd fan. You came for Floyd. You went and targeted Floyd. Floyd said something about Ali isn't the GOAT. Not disrespectful. He said, I wouldn't have Ali as the GOAT. Ali lost to Leon Spinks, who had 7 fights. Ali had a lot of bad losses in his career. He said, I wouldn't put Ali as the GOAT. I would put myself more than likely. And you came for Floyd. You said Floyd disrespected Ali, in which he didn't. He went about it in a very respectful manner, right? So, and that Floyd's rebuttal was, he turned on your highlights and he saw who you were, and we all know who Roy Jones is. He was a cheater, and once the PEDs were stripped away from him and all the athleticism just sapped out of his body, he was just a punching bag. He was just there to be knocked out, right? I don't understand why Roy's playing the victim here. I don't understand I do understand actually the urgency to try to fight Floyd Mayweather. It's a cash grab. I don't know how Roy's standing financially. I hope he's doing well for himself. He wants the money. Y'all aren't even. Roy's probably 230 pounds right now. Floyd's 160 pounds. Y'all 70 pounds apart. It's a cash grab, man. It's sad to see. Okay, I found another clip from Andre Ward's All the Smoke podcast, and I love Ward. I love Roy. They talk about Leonard versus Floyd. I want to take a look at this before we wrap this video up.
You won't give him enough credit. People always say, well, Floyd would beat Sugar. No, baby, Floyd is not as nearly as mean as Sugar was.
You don't think he would have beat him?
How? How you gonna keep him off of him? Right. Sugar is a dog. Yeah. People don't, just cause his name Sugar don't mean nothing. Yeah. Sugar is a dog. Yeah. People don't give him enough credit for that. You gotta think, this in around, between around 13 and 14, I think, Angelo Dundee said, you're blowing it, son. Sugar Leonard got went there and put these things on Tommy Hearns, who knocked Roberto Duran cold with one shot. Your Tommy hits you just like G-Man. You've been.
I get it. It sounds really good in his head. But that's why I'm here. I feel like I can give a more neutral stance. I feel like I can give a more logical stance we can all kind of come to common ground on. Sugar Ray Leonard isn't just gonna walk down Floyd Mayweather. It's not. I don't care about all that being a dog, whatever. That's not how you beat Floyd. Floyd's fought way more scrappier dog-like fighters than Leonard. Now, Leonard's hand speed, foot speed it's going to be quite troublesome for Floyd Mayweather. Him going out there stopping Hearns in the 13th, 14th round, that was great. Hearns was known to have a bad tank. Hearns was known to be really chinny. And Leonard was down terribly in that fight. I mean, the way I'm looking at this fight is going to come down to speed and timing. And while I believe Leonard has the quicker combinations. Floyd has the quicker punch. Floyd, one punch is going to be quicker than Leonard's one punch. And his timing is obviously going to be a whole lot better than Sugar Ray Leonard's. Leonard's a great fighter. You can't take that away from Sugar Ray Leonard. You cannot take that away from him. But I am going to favor Floyd in this one by a pretty good margin. But I'll let Roy keep talking.
Yeah. So for Sugar to go out there and do that, man, they don't give Sugar enough credit. You understand me?
He's a great finisher too.
They don't give Sugar enough credit.
He get you hurt,
they don't
it's
give,
over with.
They don't give Sugar enough credit. So for me, I like Floyd, and Floyd is cool, but it's like Floyd Daddy didn't really fight that close to Sugar. Sugar kind of did what he wanted to do with Floyd Daddy, and it's like,
what that got to do with Floyd? What that got to do with Floyd? You comparing his Floyd Sr. to Floyd Jr. What that got to do? Roy Jones is a junior. Whatever Roy Jones Sr. did doesn't pretty much what's the word? I guess predetermine who Roy Jones Jr. is. And that goes for anybody's fault. I hate when people bring this up with the Floyd conversation. Another totally invalid point. Floyd Sr. did this, so Floyd Jr. will no, stop it.
It's gonna be hard for me to see how they're gonna take it and beat Sugar. I mean, they'd have to do something different, that's for sure. Now, if he did something different, he probably have a chance. But just the way he been doing with normal people, that's not gonna work. What I saw in his prime, that's not gonna work with Sugar. Sugar got a third element right there.
He said third element.
He does. He got a third element right there. And we know.
And we acting like Floyd don't got no heart. Like Floyd's career has been cookies and ice cream, rainbows and sunshine. Watch Floyd versus Mosley. He gets hurt. He abandons the shell. Mosley was a bit quick. Mosley had a nice straight right or overhand that was able to get over his shoulder also while being a taller fighter. And he abandons the shell. He goes to the high guard. He walks Mosley down, beats him up. Look at Cotto. Look at even, it's going to sound a bit silly, McGregor. McGregor, same way. He's a bit larger. He can kind of get over the shell. Probably wouldn't be the smartest thing. Floyd's a bit older. Just gets in the high guard, walks him down. Like, Floyd is a dog as well. Floyd had some heart too. Floyd has never quit. There's nothing Floyd has ever shown in his career to make you question his heart or say that Sugar Ray Leonard's heart is just so much over Floyd's. That's just ridiculous.
Know that.
We seen.
We think Floyd got one, but we don't know. We ain't never seen the challenge. Mm-hmm. We know Sugar got one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've never seen, like, we got to stop acting like Floyd's career has been cookies and ice cream. It hasn't. It hasn't. Floyd has made it look, relatively easy in a lot of fights that may have been close going into them. But Floyd has dealt with adversity. If you're telling me this man has won 50-0, beating 24 world champions, and has never dealt with adversity, then he truly is the greatest fighter. He has to be. But this is a terrible point once again by Roy.
What you think? How you think that fight would have went though?
Well, who? Floyd and Sugar?
Y'all two.
Who? Me and Sugar?
You.
I think I would have beat him if I would have fought him, but I probably, if they probably could have never made me fight him, because I feel like I learned so much from him too. And like, I think I took what I thought he couldn't do well and I added that to my game. Mm-hmm. So if Sugar didn't help me get to be better than him, then it didn't do me no good to have him as a guy that I looked up to, you feel me? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I think what I added would have probably made it a tough fight for him. I don't know. I think it would have.
But your era though, he was obviously older, but I'm saying like he was too far away. Y'all wouldn't, it would never no opportunity to fight.
I would never have fought no way.
Because when the option, could y'all even done it even when he was older? I know you wouldn't have, but I'm saying would it?
No.
Y'all passed?
We passed, he was gone. Terry Norris retired him.
Yeah.
And I came after Terry.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all Roy got. I hope you guys did appreciate the video. This is gonna be a bit of a longer one. I had some strong opinions on Mr. Roy Jones Jr. He did as well with Floyd Mayweather Jr. But you guys let me know in the comments below, how do y'all feel about Roy? How do y'all feel about Floyd? Do you think Roy is in the right here? Do you think Floyd is maybe in the right. You guys let me know. You guys just, let's talk in the comments. I'll respond to a couple of you guys. Let's have some debates, have some conversations. I hope you guys catch the next video and tune into the next episode of the podcast we're going to be working on very, very soon.